for the people who don't know,
Yeah.
who is Michelle Batista?
Who is Michelle
Who
Batista?
is Michelle?
That is such a loaded question.
Loaded question.
It's
Unload first.
right? I think that,
This is your moment. So go.
ooh, my moment. Michelle Batista. Okay. Wait,
Wait, you ready?
wait, I want to make sure. I look like a Spanish newscaster that's like, hola, Univision, ¿cómo estás, mi gente?
If someone wrote a book about your life, what would the title be
Okay.
and why?
If I had to have a title for the name of my life book,
Yeah.
I think it would be This Is Why She Smiles.
Ooh. This is why she's smiling.
This is why she smiles. I think why it's called This Is Why She Smiles is that no matter what, you're still pushing forward, even when you don't want to smile, even when you don't want to laugh.
I'm not getting the promotion.
You are. You are.
You don't understand. There's this woman at work. No matter what I do, she's there, one step ahead of me, always showing me up in front of everybody.
She thinks she could come in and shake her ass and take my job?
She wakes up at the crack of dawn just to be the first one there.
I'm the best worker they've got.
You know what you gotta do, right?
I need to beat that bitch into work.
What do you want from me? Huh? I promise I won't tell anyone if you let me go, please. Please!
And topping the news today, 2 murders
Hey, I'm
and a
talking
robbery
to you!
in less than 20
What do you want
hours.
from me?
There was panic in Central City today after a gun battle erupted onto busy streets. One police officer was killed.
I'm done.
What?
I'm fucking done with you, Lindsay.
Fucking done with me?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
This friendship is no longer serving me.
What does that even mean?
It means you're fucking selfish.
I'm selfish?
You're so fucking negative, Lindsay. Every time we're together, it's always about Lindsay, 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 Lindsay.
Fucking jealous of me.
Because I'm fucking jealous of you.
Okay.
Everyone's jealous of Lindsay's job. Everyone's jealous of...
Yeah, which I got you, by the way.
Oh, because I wasn't qualified before.
Hi guys, how are you doing? My name is Michelle Batista, and you can find me on Instagram at Michelle B. Batista.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of I Got a Story to Tell. This is the 8th and final episode of the season.
Final?
Yeah, the final season.
I feel so honored.
Yeah, thank you. And what better way to cap off the season than having Michelle Batista?
Aw, thank you,
Yeah.
Angela. Thank you so much for having me here.
Yeah, it's been so many great stories, so many incredible people, so many lessons learned throughout this journey of podcasting and filming and stuff like that. But it's amazing to be here with you
Thank you.
today. Thank you for coming by. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're with me, right?
Yeah.
If you don't know, Michelle Batista is an incredible actress. She does theater, commercials, films, features. She's
you.
killing it right now. So happy to have her here with me.
Thank you.
Right. So let's get started. It's mid-December.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This year is coming to a close.
Yeah.
And I want to know, like, what is there anything this year that you like want to take a moment to kind of like on yourself for like overcoming, or you know what I mean? Like, if there's any goals that you have achieved that you want to kind
Yeah.
of celebrate yourself in this moment.
Yeah. Something that I definitely try to make a more conscious effort this year was getting out of my head when it came to the word networking.
Right.
I used to be like, I'm an extrovert and you know I can talk.
Yeah.
That's not a problem being social. But my issue was, how can I connect with people in an authentic way? So being myself and not sweat anyone when it comes to the industry, right?
Mhm.
Like, I don't want to have like an ulterior motive. Like, oh, that's a producer. Maybe he can help my career. Let me go
Right.
talk to him. So I would shy away from that and kind of just be in my own bubble when I would go to like events. And then I think that kind of was a limited mindset. And I think what happened was I wasn't allowing myself to be open and connect with other like-minded creative people. So I wanted to overcome that, and I think I did that this year by going to many events that I got invited to, or ones that I found and I made myself go to. And in the beginning, sometimes it could be overwhelming when you go into a space and you feel like everyone knows each other but yourself, But I think if you get outside your comfort zone, you can just be around a lot of great people and energy.
I
And
agree.
that's something that I definitely am proud that I made myself do because I don't want to limit myself, So,
I agree. And I think I mentioned this once. Like Issa Rae talked about networking across, you know
yeah.
what I mean? Instead of being like, bypassing all these people that you're working with and
Yeah.
trying to look for, the big Hollywood producer or
Yeah.
so what or whatever. And, just working with the people that's around you
Exactly.
because there's so many talented people that haven't made it big or, quote unquote or whatever.
Yeah.
So that is a very important lesson.
Yeah.
Just being able to just work with whoever you meet. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And,
Um,
like New York is huge, but it's also small.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it's interesting going to different events and then seeing familiar faces and new faces, And then the more you put yourself out there, the more that like abundance is going to come back to you. So that's something that I've been noticing a lot.
Awesome. All right. So for the people who don't know,
Yeah.
who is Michelle Batista?
Who is Michelle
Who
Batista?
is
That
Michelle
is such a loaded
Loaded
question.
question.
It's like,
Unload for us.
right? I think that,
This is your moment. So go.
ooh, my moment,
Yeah.
Michelle Batista. I think that I am the same person I've always been since I was little.
Me too.
But I think I always have like this vision when I think of who we are. And it's like in the middle, your core is always kind of like the same, right? And around it, it's like the changing parts, different ages and different events that happen. But in the core, it's always the same. So I feel like I'm still that like joyful little girl that likes, the weirdos and
Right.
the creative people and the underdogs. But as you get older, you learn and you mature. But I think I am definitely, I always say human being, like the most obvious thing. I'm like, Michelle is a human being that has emotions. And I think that's why I gravitate towards art because art is like expression of things that maybe we can't say, but we, feel. So definitely just an artist all around. I like to write, I like to act. And I'm very family oriented. I'm a daughter and a sister and a girlfriend and a best friend. So I have no idea if that answered it, but
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
yeah.
All right. So okay, take us back to, when you're a kid growing up in New York City.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Talk about your roots,
Mhm.
your background,
Yeah.
what it was like growing up, in New York City, and ultimately how you got into acting.
Acting?
Yeah.
So my background, I'm Dominican,
Right.
American. I was born in New York, D'Angelo, but actually I was raised in Atlantic City. I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't know that.
And then after college, I came back to New York to pursue acting. So I feel like a Jersey girl and a New York girl at the same time. So my family migrated from DR to New York. And then when I was 5, I moved to AC. Every time I tell someone that I'm from AC, they're like, people grow up there? Like, but it's my roots and I own them. I've liked acting since I was little, singing. And then I found out that I'm not the best singer. So I said, okay, we're going to stick with acting. In middle school, I did all the plays. And in high school, I did the plays. And in college, I did a play senior year. It's interesting because I was never part of like the drama club. Sometimes I felt like they were a little cliquey. And I'm like, we're all the nerds. Why are you cliquey? Like, we're the. But yeah, I've always gravitated towards it. And I kind of always knew after college I was going to pursue acting like full time. And there's never really been a plan B for me. So I remember telling my mom for a whole year, like, Mom, the day after I graduate college, I'm moving to New York. I told her for a whole year because we're all very like tight knit. And then it happened. I had my suitcase ready and she's like, where are you going? And I'm like, New York City. I told you for a whole year. I was trying to prep you, because we're an emotional family. So she's like, oh my God, you were serious? I was like, of course I was serious. And then I moved to New York and then never looked back.
Yeah. I think it's important to have supportive family because
Yes.
I come from a small town and like from in Georgia, and like becoming an actor is not something that people actually pursue. You
In
know what I mean?
Georgia.
Yeah. So I remember I told my mom, and she was like, "Yeah, go for it." She was the only person that said that thought I could actually do it. So I feel like it's important to have those people in your life
Yeah.
that actually push you towards that. Because like if my mom hadn't said do it, I probably wouldn't be here. You know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah,
Yo,
exactly.
shout out to your
Yeah,
mom.
exactly. So that's very,
I
very.
definitely do think it's important to have supportive um, friends and family and loved ones because it's not an like easy
It's
path
not.
at all. It's not a
Hmm.
stable path at all or a guaranteed one. So definitely like my brothers are very supportive. My best friend Sudie is very supportive.
Hmm.
When she lived in New Jersey, she would come all the way to New York to come to my scene nights that I would have. In my acting studios, we would study a certain scene of a play and then we would perform it, and she would travel like, the 3 hours to come see me every time. And just the whole extension of my family and friends in New Jersey, when I would have a play, they would come. So definitely my brothers and my parents also, but
Right.
they're immigrants. So it's like they would prefer me to be like a lawyer or a doctor, but they do believe in my talent. I think it's just hard for them because it seems so far fetched,
Hmm.
like, those kind of dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as a person, who was just getting your feet wet in the
Yeah.
industry,
Yeah.
what is some of the best career advice someone has given you? Like maybe somebody you met or somebody you work with, some
Yeah.
of the best career advice somebody has, something that stuck with you. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
I want to like look dead ass in the camera and be like,
Let them know.
stay
Yeah.
ready so you don't have to get ready is definitely a
Stay
gem.
ready so you don't have to get ready.
Yeah. And I'm still trying to get ready. So I'm still trying to stay and get ready. But definitely, that expression that's like, I think opportunity is when like luck
Needs
and
preparation.
meets preparation.
Hmm.
It's like make sure you have all your ducks in a row. Make sure you're on it. Because in this like field and industry, there's so many things out of our control. Make sure that everything that is in your control, you have a grasp of. It's hard to balance it,
It is.
working and pursuing it and then trying to maintain relationships and, self-care and everything. So
It's a lot.
definitely, yeah, stay ready. So you don't have to get ready. And confidence and being present are also things that I, like make sure. Like right now, I'm like, let me arch my back real
Yeah.
quick and make sure that, because it's true. It's true. So definitely being confident in yourself and knowing yourself. Because a lot of people might tell you what's wrong with you or what you need to do. So making sure you know yourself and your boundaries and what you're willing to be open with and what are deal breakers that you're not going to compromise.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Even with you right now, you came in, you showed up on time, you're ready.
Thank you. I'm trying to beat that POC vibe. You feel me? I was like, no, I have to be on time. And I still got lost. And that's why you should try to become
To be honest, you were like the earliest person that showed up to
Really?
set. Yeah, like
Wait,
everybody
did you
almost,
get that on? Can you say that in front of the camera really quickly? I want
it's no slide against nobody else.
No, it's for
Anybody else,
myself. Thank you so
but
much for saying
like
that.
the earliest person.
Thank you.
showed
That
up.
makes me feel
Yeah, but I appreciate that.
thanks.
But usually I work with a lot of women, so they probably just
No, it's true.
getting ready, whatever. But
Yeah, that's one of my goals for 2025 is to respect everyone's time. We don't do it on purpose. It's just we're trying to get ready
it's cool. Right,
and commuting in New York.
right. So I want to dive into your
Yeah.
recent project,
Okay.
Playboy of Park Slope.
Yes.
Can you talk about your experience on that film
Yes.
and how you wind up getting the role?
Yeah.
Um,
I actually co-wrote it
you
with
Oh, I didn't.
with my friend Joe during
Incredible.
COVID actually.
Mhm.
And
The
then
actress and a writer.
yes.
Yeah.
And I definitely want to tap into directing in the future. I
Mhm.
feel like I have a lot of opinions all the time.
You got it. Yeah.
But so we wrote it during COVID and we filmed it the following September, 2021. And it was a fun, quirky, like rom-com
Mhm.
comedy that starred just a bunch of friends. And it was just like this kid that's still a virgin and he's just having bad luck with the ladies, and his best friend is like, come on, and they made a pact to see if she can help him, and if not, maybe like she will just have sex with him because she thinks it's like a casual thing and he took
Right.
it more serious. And I think they low-key like liked each other. That's kind of, just like a quirky rom-com that I feel like we've heard before. It's kind of relatable. And yeah, it was fun to shoot it and everyone was so nice. And
It's a very unique storyline. I really like the storyline.
yeah.
So for you
Yeah.
as an actress, when you get a role and you're preparing for a role,
Yeah.
how do you get in your zone? What is your process? What do you do? You like a method actor? Or you just
Yeah. I studied Meisner
Right.
for the last 10 years. So I definitely do a lot of emotional preparation within myself and really put myself in those shoes. I had to do this short film this year called Calls, and it's going to actually come out on Amazon Prime
Wow.
early next year.
Congrats.
Thank you. And I had to play like a kidnapped hostage. So that was intense, even though it was like a thriller. Yeah, so that was difficult to do. But just definitely emotional preparation. I think I believe in education with acting. So once you have those tools within yourself, it's easier to tap into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you and I both know that this business can be very glamorous, on the
Yeah.
outside,
Yeah.
but it comes with a lot of challenges. So can you talk about some challenges that you personally face,
Yeah.
pursuing your dream as an actress,
Yeah.
and some of those, those roadblocks that you face?
Yeah. Challenges, I would say, is feeling seen and heard on set, especially if I am one of the only women on set. It's been a hard process to speak up, and also it's just hard.
Yeah.
I'm not a nepo baby.
Mhm.
There's not like a blueprint in front of me. I feel like I studied acting for so long and now I'm tapping more into the business side of it now. And I'm like, man, I had, pardon, no idea about any of this. So it's like trial and error and just learning and experiences. And it could be a lot. So you have to make sure that you rest and you also are pursuing other things that make you happy while pursuing your passion. Because for
Exactly.
me, it's a lifelong journey. There is no plan B. So you have to make sure that you're not missing out on other parts of your life to find that balance. But it's been hard trying to break into, now I have like 2 managers and I've been getting auditions for like Netflix and Hulu and these shows that I've been dreaming about, and I've been pinned and they've checked my availability and a callbacks and 5 6 7 times, and then last second they're like, hey, we went another route, sorry.
Yeah.
So you have to make sure that it's like, I don't know if you ever felt this. It's like you hope for a role, but then you have to also talk to yourself and be like, okay, if I don't get it, I'm gonna be all right. And there's gonna be another one. But then you're also secretly hoping for it, right? So you're finding that balance of the two.
Right.
Yeah.
One thing that you said that really kind of stuck with me is it's a lifelong journey.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of people that say, oh, if I'm not here by 25, or if I'm not
Yeah.
doing this by 30, then I'll go back to whatever.
Yeah.
But you saying that it's a lifelong journey.
Yes.
It puts it in perspective.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because it is. You may break into it, I don't know, 5-10 years later.
Yeah.
But if you have that perspective, like, it's a lifelong journey, and if I have a setback this year or whatever,
Yeah.
I mean, I have a long ways to go,
Yeah.
right?
And it's
that's
also like, what is the definition of success for you?
exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
is it fame and fortune and, paparazzi?
Mhm.
Or is it you're a working actor and people love your work and then they come back to see you do it again and you get paid for it? That's always been kind of my definition of success.
Right.
Like, be really good at what you do, that people come back to see it again and they pay you for it.
Mhm.
Whatever that looks like to you is kind of my definition of that.
I agree. Another thing that really helped me is just celebrating the little victories. There's always something you could celebrate. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. It's hard.
Yeah.
Because sometimes imposter syndrome, right? I don't know
Yeah,
if you ever
yeah.
felt that.
Mhm.
And sometimes I feel guilty celebrating the little
It's a
things.
little thing.
Yeah. I'm doing that girl thing again where I'm like seeing my hair. Oh
Mm-hmm.
my gosh, I am such a girl.
Your hair is nice.
Oh,
Right.
thank you, thank you, thank you. But yeah, so it's like that. Imposter syndrome is very real for me, and I feel guilty celebrating little victories. But you have to, because it's like the big thing is like the accumulation of all the little ones,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Exactly. Yeah. So just celebrating the little things. For instance, last year, I had a screening for Uptown Girls,
yeah,
and just to see people in the theater laughing and you know what I mean, clapping at something that you wrote was a
it's a
beautiful
great
moment. Just
feeling
those
for you.
small things. It wasn't a huge sellout crowd, but it was just like
You're
100
minimizing it.
people, like 100 people that were
A
like,
100 people went.
yeah,
That's
like
amazing.
100. You
What do you
basically,
mean it wasn't a huge?
you know,
100?
yeah,
Count
like
to
100
100 right now.
people.
That's
Yeah,
huge.
and people were like, oh, people, I can see people like laugh and
Yeah.
clap. You know what? Just getting a taste of like what's to come in the future. You know what I'm saying?
And it's a
So
beautiful feeling, I'm
it's a
sure.
beautiful feeling.
100 people.
Yeah,
You
like
should
it's
pat yourself in the back for that one. For real,
yeah,
for real.
yeah. It was a beautiful thing, but there's more to come. But
That's true.
being an actress or whatever, you obviously face rejection.
Yeah.
So, are there any? Is there anybody in your corner or people in your corner that motivate you to keep pressing forward, or motivate you to succeed or whatever? Who are those people or
Yeah.
person in your
Well,
life?
yeah, definitely the same people that are my support system now. It's like my best friend, Sudi's
Hmm.
like, girl, you're gonna get us out the hood by making. No, I'm kidding. That was like our
Yeah,
joke.
I have
And
people say the same thing.
yeah,
Like,
right. She's like,
yeah,
I don't want to work no more.
yeah.
Get me out of this. So my best friends, my brothers, we have like a group chat, and I remember my little brother Kevin. One time, I think I was down. I was feeling down about an audition or something, and just kind of venting to them about how hard it is. And my brother Kevin's like, Michelle, there's no world that you don't achieve all of your
Hmm.
dreams. Like, if it's not you, it's no one. And it just made me feel so good inside. He's like, I don't say it often, but I see, like, every day you're on the go doing something. I see you working somehow, somewhere, pursuing your dreams and your career. And it makes me feel good because sometimes in this career, you don't really have anything tangible in your hand
Yep.
to be like, oh, look. So it's good. It was just a nice, reassuring feeling.
Hmm.
Yeah, so definitely family and friends, and my boyfriend is really there supporting me. Shout out to him, because dating an actor, like,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to date an actor, and I'm an actor. It's not an easy career, to be like, hey, how can I revolve my world around you pursuing
Hmm.
this? Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of family,
Yeah.
you're close with your dad, right? So,
I love my dad. You see him? I
uh,
post him on my Instagram all the time.
yeah.
All the time.
So,
He's the best.
speaking of that, can you touch on like some of the lessons he taught you, and
Okay.
some of the things that you still hold near and dear to your heart today that kind of get you through the tough times?
Oh, man. Also, I just want to shout out my mom, because
Yeah.
I love her. People probably think I'm closer to my dad. My mom doesn't like attention or the camera, so she's egging him on. My dad, I love them both. My dad is definitely a definition of joy. They say happiness is something that comes like external. You
Hmm.
get like a new present and you're happy. But having that joy is that you have it in your core, that no matter what happens on the outside, you're still joyful. And that's my father to the T. Since I was little, he's the funniest person I know. He keeps me laughing. He keeps life light. He's about to be 72. He doesn't even look it. Like,
Oh,
I
wow.
know. I know. So I think his joyness is keeping him young, and he likes to dance. So definitely being silly and letting loose, and not taking anything too serious in life is definitely something that I've learned from my dad. Just having that joy no matter what happens around you, bad
Hmm.
energy or not. Never meet other people with their energy. Meet people with your energy,
Right.
and that's gonna attract whoever is meant to be around that energy, and it's gonna take offend whoever is not meant to be around your energy. So
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like we do have a tendency to kind of give
Oh
people the
yeah.
energy they give
Oh
us.
yeah. We've all been there.
Yeah, we've all been there. But yeah, it's important to know that like you could change that person's attitude if you just
And it's happened to me.
present
Kill it
them
with
with
kindness kind of
yeah
vibes.
that kind of vibe.
Yeah. But then sometimes you can't kill them with kindness
Yeah,
and you have to just, I'm
just
like,
kill them.
yeah. Wait, I never said that. I
Just
never
playing.
said that. Yeah.
I want to dive into another project
Okay.
that you worked on, which is Loving the Game,
Yeah.
which I thought was your best work
Oh, thank
as an
you.
actress.
Oh, thanks.
Can you kind of dive into the your experience on set
Yeah.
and how you wind up getting that role?
Yeah. I did a play in New Jersey in 2019. It's called Anytown USA, and I loved it because it was about racial issues in
Mm-hmm.
America, and being Latina, Afro Latina, being married to an African American man, and and then him being a police officer. So, and it dealt with societal factors and issues as well. And from there, I got referred to this director that did Love in the Game, and he liked my look and said that can I audition for him? And then it was also during COVID as well, and we shot it. And Chuck Fernandez was my co-star. Shout out to him because he's the best. Everyone hire him, always and forever hire him. He's great. And it was a great experience. Everyone was very kind, nice. We shot it really fast, make sure that we, did the protocols of COVID and stuff. And yeah, I was like the love interest of the main character. And that was interesting because she like left her husband and cheated
Yeah.
on her husband to go back with her like her old love. So it's, you have to try to find a way to make the audience or the viewer root
Right.
for that
So
character.
for context, you play your character's name
Paz,
Paz
yeah.
Montenegro.
Yeah.
So what drew you to that character? Was there a certain connection you felt with the character?
Yeah, I think she had a lot of passion.
Yeah.
And I'm a very passionate person. And it's like I tried to find a way because what she did ultimately, the actions were wrong, right? You should
Yeah.
never cheat on anyone.
Mhm.
If you're not happy, leave. But I think just like this overwhelming emotion came back when she reunited with like her past love, that it was like undeniable. So that was my main challenge is how can we make people still root for her? But I do think she's a good person, and sometimes good people do bad things and bad people do good things.
That's true.
So it was just kind of that. We're human at the end of the day. And I just try to find a way to humanize her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maya Angelou had a quote that says,
I love Maya Angelou.
Nothing human is unhuman to me, or something like that. It's basically saying that like if as a human being, there's nothing that's like nothing that you wouldn't do if you weren't in somebody else's shoes. 'Cause,
Yeah,
we look
yeah.
at a person and say, "Oh, I would never."
I'd
do
never
that."
do that.
would
Never
never
say
do that.
never. Never say never.
But being a human being, you don't know what you would do in a certain situation. So
Yeah.
that's why, yeah. So I just try not to judge.
It's
So
yeah. We
Right.
we listen, we don't judge,
listen. So at this stage in your journey, so
Yeah.
what is life teaching
I
you?
love how you called it journey.
Yeah,
You're like journey because
yeah,
Michelle,
journey.
it is a journey, child.
What is life teaching you at this specter in your journey
Right
at this
now,
moment? Yeah.
currently, to take risk, to believe in yourself, to know yourself,
Mhm.
and to give it everything. Don't half-ass literally anything.
Right.
Like it's like why work somewhere and give it 100 if you're working for someone else? You should be giving 100 to yourself, right? In whatever passion or career that is, even if you're tired, So definitely trying to find that discipline, motivation, and the focus in a world that is like, social media.
Exactly.
Yeah. How can you make sure that you're still doing everything that you need to do? I forgot the question already. I talk so much. What was the question? I don't know if I hit
What is
it.
life teaching you at this stage in your journey?
I just said focus, and then look what happened.
Focus.
That and that life is fleeting, and that it's like we really have to go all in, and like don't give a flying F. Do not care about what anyone has to say, right? Except like the people that know you, and be open enough to receive things, but know who you are and make
Mhm.
sure that you have the boundaries is something that I definitely have been learning this year in my regular life and in acting and everything is like be open to receive anything and everything, but also know yourself to know what
Exactly.
you want to receive and what you don't want to receive.
Exactly. I think personally, what life has taught me is that you are a lot better than you think you are. Um,
Yeah.
because sometimes I always felt like very self conscious about where I am, but
Yeah.
then I'll get a message from somebody who I haven't seen in a long time from school,
Yeah.
and like, oh, you're doing well. I love the
Yeah.
project you're working on and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And just to
Yeah.
know that people are maybe they don't say it or communicate it, but they're watching you and they're rooting for you. You
Yes.
know what I mean?
Yes.
So I think that you always are a lot better than you think you are. You know what I mean? People are watching you, people are rooting
Yeah.
for you, and people are admiring you, even if they don't say it.
Yeah. I think what you just said
Yeah, because
is a
we
life.
say like oh nobody cares, nobody's paying attention, but
Yeah.
people are watching you, paying
Yeah.
attention to you, and rooting for
Yeah.
you. But even though they may not say,
Say, I think I always try to, like literally what you just said, I always try to support people in our industry in general, but mainly in our industry. Like I always reshare on my Instagram. It's something little, so I
mm-hmm,
do it.
something small,
Anything, any project I see, anything that anyone posts that they're doing themselves, any event, I'll try to repost it on my Instagram because that's my way of just supporting.
mm-hmm,
Because it's hard, and I feel like, you know, for like 99.99 of the actors and artists I've met, they've been wonderful.
right,
People like to say that we pin, us against each other and, we're competitive. And it's like, no, like I really do believe that there's enough, seats at the table, So from my experience, I don't know about yours, but
yeah,
it's been very like supportive all around. I have comedian friends. I go to their shows. They come to see my plays. We go see our friends that are singing. It's all interconnected. So I definitely being supportive, like you said, about some people might not tell you. And that's awesome. But I also believe in like when your friends and loved ones reached out to you and said, "Hey, D'Angelo, we're seeing what you're doing."
mm-hmm,
It's a nice feeling, no?
right.
Yeah, so I always try to go out of my way to do that too. To be like, "Oh, I see what you're doing. You're killing it." Small victories, you
Yeah,
know?
exactly. It reminded me of something like I remember like how people always have those marathons and things like that.
Yeah.
You know what I noticed is that every time someone sees someone running a marathon, they always say, "Good job." It's because the only thing that mattered is that you finished. No
Yeah.
one ever says, "Hey man, what place did you come in that marathon?" It's always,
You are so right.
Hey, good job, good job. You finished. Oh, good job." And I think that kind of reminded me about life is just run your race. Because if you finish, if you get to your goal, you won.
I didn't even
Versus,
think about that. You're so
yeah,
right.
like
I'm like, do people even have numbers
yeah,
in marathon
exactly. Like
like places?
you see those people run the New York City Marathon, like around the city. Like if you go to a store, there may be somebody in the store, and like people will be like, "Oh, congratulations!" That nobody ever asks, "What place did you come in? Did you finish last?" What?
So true.
So I think that kind of reminds me about life. It's just like as long as you reach your goal, then you won. It's not about did I finish last or who's better than me and things like that.
Yeah, well, comparison is
Comparison.
is is making you not present, right? And then I mean,
Exactly.
like, don't get me wrong, we're human and it
Hmm.
gets in our head. And then you see someone that looks like you or is close to your age or might be younger than you and maybe they're further, in their career and stuff. It's hard sometimes not to compare, but you
Hmm.
can't let yourself fall into that. We don't have time for any hateration. Okay, Mary J. Blige said it. Okay, there's no room for hateration in this world. I try not to be a hater. I try to love
Holleration.
everyone. It's hard, right? Especially when you're not where you want to be.
Hmm.
I think it's a human thing. Give yourself
It's
grace.
natural. Yeah,
I think it's a natural thing,
it's a
but I
natural
would say
thing.
don't like wallow in it, and be like, oh, woe is me. So anytime I see a girl that's killing it, that's beautiful, that's talent, I am like, oh, I love that. That's
Hmm.
inspiring me.
Right.
It's inspiring me to go get at it. Like when someone's doing a marathon, I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should go run a track a
Do it.
couple laps. Yeah.
Awesome. Um, what do people? What do you think people don't know about you?
What people don't know about
Yeah.
me?
What is something people? What is something
What
about
is
you that most
something
people
that
don't know?
people don't know about me? Okay, let me think because I feel like I'm an open book.
Yeah.
I definitely do not have a poker face. What you see is what you get.
Mhm.
What is something that people don't know about me? I, as much as I can be extroverted and social and a people person, I
Mhm.
can totally be by myself for like weeks.
Yeah.
I can just be a hermit. I really can. I enjoy my own company.
Yeah.
But something else. This is what happens when you share too much. I'm like, what else is there to
Everybody knows
give?
everything.
I this is true. And people that aren't as close to me might not know it. Like I can get anxiety sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
being around a lot of people. And sometimes no one will tell just because I'll be the one laughing and talking. So definitely I can have anxiety. People might not know about that. And I think that's it. I don't know.
Hmm.
And I
Okay.
drank the pickle juice out of the jar.
Oh,
I don't know if you like pickles. After
I
I
love
eat the
pickles.
pickles, I'll like chug the pickle juice.
I don't know about drinking the actual juice.
I
That's
know.
nasty.
Have you
but
ever had like a whiskey shot and then a pickleback?
No. No.
Okay.
Not at
Well,
all.
you're missing out.
No. 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 All right. So, I mean, through
Yeah.
the years, you achieved some success. So, what do you think you've had to sacrifice?
Oh, going out.
Out.
Going out. I'm like, sorry guys, I have to, I can't go out because I have an early shoot at like 5 a.m. And sometimes we get our call sheet at like 11:30 p.m.,
Mm-hmm.
midnight, and then the call shoot's 5 a.m., 6 a.m. So definitely, and sometimes I get FOMO, but it's okay.
Yeah.
So definitely just hanging out with family and friends. And I've had to miss events, some birthdays back home from like cousins. I have a big family, big Dominican family. So that always stinks also when,
Yeah.
I really try to make it to everything humanly possible, but there are going to be some things that clash and you just can't. And I think balance is hard, so it comes in waves. And sometimes you're trying to make sure you pay rent,
Mhm.
and then some months you're trying to make sure that your career's floating, and then some months you're trying to make sure that you're being a good
Balance it.
partner and things like that. Yeah.
It feels like those people that like balance plates on their heads. They have like one on the
Dude,
head,
yeah.
one on the nose, one of the So like it feels the same way.
Yeah.
Personally, I would agree with you. I would say family. Me being
Yeah.
from Georgia and being in New York City.
Oof, that's
And
far.
there's sometimes, a lot of times I can't be home.
Yeah.
Things happen at home. People pass away. You can't make it. Things like that. So there's a lot of things that. So I think that, even though you can't be home all the time, you still love your family and stuff like that. So I
Yeah.
would say family is something that
I
you
agree. I
sacrifice.
agree. There's been
It's
a lot of
tough.
birthdays.
A lot of birthdays.
And as you get
things
older,
like that.
cousins are having babies,
Mhm.
and it's a lot of birthdays for these babies, and it's like, damn, I can't be there all the time,
Exactly.
So
Perfect.
yeah.
So what is your definition of success, and through the years, how has that definition changed?
I have had the same definition since I was 20 when I was in college. I had a professor named Franklin Smith. He was on Boardwalk Empire and The Wire. Shout out to him.
Shout out to
And
him.
he almost died at the age of like 60 something. And his life changed. Like he saw a light and it was like, do what your heart desires. He was a young Black man in the 60s, and he lived in poverty-stricken areas, and he couldn't really pursue the arts because that's not what
Mhm.
they did back then. It was basketball and sports. So he kind of hid that passion for so long, and then years later, decades later, it came out, and then he achieved so much. He's also from South Jersey. Sorry to go all through that, but I
Sure.
love him. But I will say that he told me this quote, like I said before, about the success part. And when I was 20, and it always stayed with me, just like make sure that you're good at what you do, that people want to see it over and over and over again.
Mhm.
And then you get paid for it, which is amazing. And then people, you don't have to really audition. People come to you like, hey, I had you in mind. For me, that would be like success. Yeah. I mean, yeah, red carpets and glamorous life, that's awesome. Let's not pretend it's not. But if that's the only thing that you're looking for, it's gonna be,
It's gonna be tough.
it's gonna be tough.
Gotta want to be happy. Happiness is
Yeah.
kind of the
It's gonna want to be like acting, and
field.
it's gonna be like breathing, like you
Mhm.
need to do it. The passion.
I agree. Is there anything in your life that you struggle with internally or externally that your art has helped you overcome?
Anything internally or outernally?
Externally.
Externally, out. You see me looking at myself again?
Yeah. That maybe your art has helped you overcome.
Cut this part out. Anything that my art has overcome. I fear mortality because it's something that we don't really know what happens after we die.
Yeah.
And I get sad when I think about my loved ones, and I think it's a human feeling that we all feel. And I think with art and acting, it's kind of leaving like a legacy behind, something that lives on past you.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think that has helped in a way. And I'm trying to think of something else that has helped me. I think to be more confident in your own skin, because this journey is very visual median. And it's like boom, 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 boom. Let me just again, boom. So making sure that you're like comfortable in your own skin, right? It's like, and also knowing that we're human and there's no pressure to be perfect. And you want to look your best, sure. But it's also you want to feel your best and you want to do your best. It's not only, so that's something, even though sometimes it could be a vain, acting and looks and stuff, but trying to make sure that that's not the only thing. Again, I don't know if I answered your question, D'Angelo.
You
Did I?
That was great.
Really?
Great.
I wanted to hold your hand right there. I was like, did I answer your
you
question?
did. All right.
Thanks.
If someone wrote a book about your life, what would the title be
Okay.
and why?
What would be the title of my life as Michelle Batista? Ooh,
Yeah.
Okay. What would be the title? It would be...
I'll go while you think. All right.
Okay, you go first.
All right. So if someone wrote a book about my life, I would say the title would be
Yeah.
The Art of Resilience.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah.
That already sounds like a good book.
Yeah.
The Art of Resilience.
The Art of Resilience. Because I feel like being tough is something that you have to be, especially moving to New York City from like a small town.
Yeah.
And going through all these challenges, trying to learn how to navigate the city and career. So I feel like I've overcome a lot. So I would say the art of resilience. Yeah.
I love that, D'Angelo.
Mhm.
Well, I'm happy that you've gone through so much, and it seems like you're on top, and you're just getting started. So
Yep.
shout out to you, and I hope that you celebrate yourself.
Yeah.
For sure. If I had to have a title for the name of
Your life.
my life book,
Yeah.
I think it would be This Is Why She Smiles.
Ooh. This is why she's smiling.
This Is Why She Smiles. And I think it would be very relatable to what you're saying, because what you said about being resilient and overcoming everything, it's like, that's life. We get handed these life cards that we have no control over, and we have to navigate this. So I remember growing up with my brothers. We shared one room, three of us shared one room growing up. And every morning I would wake up, and I remember I would wake up and smile, and then they're like, why are you smiling? You just woke up. And even this morning at work, I was like, hey, and they're like, why you got so much energy? It's like 8 a.m. So sometimes, D'Angelo, let's go back. When you said like, what is something that people don't know about you? I think because I have a strong personality, a big personality, bubbly, yada, yada. People think that I'm never sad. People think I'm happy 24/7. I think that's weird. No one is happy 24/7, right?
Mm-hmm.
Having that joy in your like core is different, but life happens, you know? It's normal to have these complex feelings. So I think why it's called This Is Why She Smiles is that no matter what, you're still pushing forward, even when you don't want to smile, you know, even when you don't want to laugh. And there are days when it comes out naturally, and some days where you have to fake it, and some days where it's hidden, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
Make a
through it
lemonade out of
all,
lemons. Yeah, you give it
there
lemons
you
and make
make
lemonade.
lemonade, and that's
Yep.
why it's called that.
It's awesome. So when it's all said and done,
Yeah.
what do you want people to say about you? When your career is over,
Um,
what do you hope people say about you?
I am really serious about my career. And when I'm on set, even though I'm a goofy person, I try to be 100% serious. I want to
Mhm.
be taken serious. I want the production to be serious and set to be serious because I will be giving it my all. And I never want that to get conflated with my easygoing personality. So definitely, I want people to feel like I left them with something that they know that like Michelle was raw in her, like nothing was fake. She gave it her all and it showed. So in acting, it's like I want to leave it all on the floor,
Right.
you know, everything. So I could be like, okay, I did that, you know. And I understand that we're all harsh critics
Mm-hmm.
as artists, and seeing my own projects, I'm like, oh, you know. And you just keep going and you keep, you know, but definitely just giving it my all and my heart and my being genuine with every step when it comes to
Mhm.
acting because I really love it.
Okay. So when you're not acting or performing, what are you doing? You have hobbies?
I am diving into sign language again. I love
Yeah.
sign language.
Yeah.
I studied it in college for a little, so I've been picking it up. I do also love rollerblading, but I keep like spraining my ankles.
Mm-hmm.
I got bitch ass ankles.
Hmm.
Definitely hanging out with family, dancing. That's something really big at
Oh
parties.
yeah.
I went to my older brother's baby shower last weekend. We were dancing with the DJ, having a good time. Bachata, merengue, salsa, all that good stuff, the cha-cha slide. So
Mm-hmm.
definitely spending as much time also with my parents and my loved ones. Those are probably the main things that I do. I wish I could travel more, and hopefully in the near future I would, like I will. But that's mainly what I'm doing right now. Those small hobbies and spending time with loved ones.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Nice. So if there's any role, or any movie role or TV
Yeah.
role
Okay.
in any era of history that you could have, that you could have played, what would it be? Any role,
Any role.
past or present.
Can you answer that
See where your
question
head is at.
first?
Oh, any role. Me being a director,
Yeah.
not so much an actor.
Yeah.
Um, I would say a movie I wish I could have directed was Boys in the Hood. Like,
Ooh, okay.
yeah,
Yes, throwback. What you know about Boys in the Hood?
yeah, it's like one of my favorite movies, and
It,
it was so touching.
yes.
The story, the beautiful story, beautiful
Yeah.
acting, and for the era, I think it worked for the era. With black on black crime and things like that in the early '90s, and the message that it sent around the world about people of color and black people and things like that.
Yeah.
So I would say if it was any movie I could have directed, it would be that
Yeah.
one. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's a beautiful response. Honestly, I feel like anything Viola Davis is in. I love her so much. Anything that she's in. Um, I seen a limited series recently. It's probably like 2 years old now with Reese Witherspoon and Kerry Washington. That was
Mm-hmm.
really good. I believe it was called like Little Big Fires Everywhere. Big.
Right.
I'm mixing up the names and stuff, but Kerry Washington is just so good. There's not,
Great. I love her.
yeah.
Mm.
I like relatable things, you know. Um, I can't come back to me with that question. I can't really pinpoint. I just know that like every time I see Viola Davis or Kerry Washington, these actors, I just feel something.
How to get away with
How to?
murder?
Well, that's a T. Oh, like it could be a TV
Anything,
show also.
any role in history, movie, TV, that you found fascinating. That you like, I would love to play something like that one day.
Yeah. Well, Orange is the New Black was awesome.
Mhm.
I think it was iconic when it
Yeah.
came
I
out
could
like
see
10
you in
years
that.
ago.
I could see you in that show.
I know some people and friends that were in it. So
Wow.
definitely that would be a great role to do. Orange is the New Black.
Mm.
Yeah.
Is there any projects you're working on you want people to know about?
So
Something in the works?
yeah. Well, we wrapped up this short film called Bitch I'm Early. And
I was looking at that. Yeah. Pretty cool.
And we actually got into Dances with Films, which is like a huge indie film festival in LA, and they are here in New York.
Mhm.
And we won out of like 55 different short film narratives.
Mhm.
Ours won, and the director had a beautiful speech. Jesse, he's amazing. And I'm really proud of that one. It's recent, and everyone was on it. My co-star was Yesenia, and she's in Power. She plays the mom of Famous in the wanted my brothers watched the show, and I was like, hey, can you make a video to my brothers and tell them? And it was really cool.
Yeah.
So shout out to her. She's an amazing actress. So Bitch I'm Early. My mom does not like the title. She's like, why has to say beach? I don't understand. But that one's great. And Cause is coming out next year, and I will be playing a detective next year on Amazon Prime on the show called Gravesend, which has been really cool to do because that's one of my goals for this year. I wanted
Incredible things.
I wanted to, start breaking into TV and film. So they've been really great, William and the crew. So that's something that, Agent Diaz is my
Amazing.
name.
Oh,
Yeah, check
I'm
me out.
excited.
Check me out.
That's amazing. And I just want to say it's amazing to see how you've grown. I mean, I remember when I first moved to New York City
Thank
about
you.
5 years ago, 4 years ago.
Yeah, it's
Like
been a
the first
while.
project I worked on was like Already Taken. I was like a PA, just meeting people and networking.
But
and
you were
like,
so hungry. Like I
Yeah.
remember you were so on
like
it.
my first project, and
Yeah.
you were there. You were nice to me.
Aw.
We met, we connected.
Of
and we've been-
course, yeah.
We're friends ever since.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's amazing to see like you still working and you still doing your thing,
Thanks.
and the growth that you showed.
Thank you.
I was brought on that project by Andre, which I found out passed away, which is just now.
I would like to definitely just
told me
dedicate a
that.
moment for him right now.
Wow, it's incredible. Like
His life touched a lot of us.
yeah.
And he came to my screening for Bitch I'm Early in August. Last time I seen him in person, he gave me my flowers, and I hope that he
Mhm.
also felt that we all gave him his flowers too,
Yeah. And
because it still doesn't feel real, and it's just also a reminder of like he's a person that his work ethic was amazing, great person, funny as hell, messy. Loved him. Me and him love to spill the tea with each other. But yeah, I wish in an alternate universe he had more time to
Exactly.
really show the world all of his work ethic. I don't want to cry.
Yeah.
And I'm so sorry for
It's
telling
sad-
you.
so
It-
sad. I
it's-
remember a first
Yeah.
big TV show, TV series was it's on Amazon now.
Yeah.
And like I'm not gonna lie, like we only shot like one episode or 2 episodes,
Yeah.
and like it was kind of a disaster. Like people were about to quit, and I told him, I was like, I'm done. I don't want to do it no more. He was like, Yo,
Hold
you
on.
keep going, man,
love
because I was done. I'm like, man, this is too hard.
Yeah.
He was like, man, keep going, man. You got like 2 episodes, just keep going. And we wind up like finishing it, and they got picked up by Amazon. Yeah, he was like such
see?
a brilliant mind behind the scenes. Even when I was messing up, he wouldn't call me out. He would call me over to the side and be like, no, don't do that. This is how you should do it. This is how you should go.
He gave you respect,
And
right?
some of the things he taught me, I still use. Brilliant mind. And yeah, rest in peace to Andre. So
Yeah.
yeah, so sad.
But in all of the gems that he dropped to you and
Yeah.
to me, will live on through what he taught you. Now you will, throw that ripple and waves into your project. So definitely forever and ever now, as long as I live, I will be always thinking about him in every step of the way when it comes to like my creative journey, and always just wanting to make him proud for
Yep.
sure. And he will forever be missed.
Yep.
Forever, ever. Yeah.
Yep.
And
And just
loved.
wanted him to know that he did have a big impact on people.
He
Even
did.
if we didn't get to say it because his time was short on Earth,
Yeah.
we didn't get to say it. So that's
We think that we have more time.
Yep.
We think we have so much time.
Wish I could have
He was
told
very
him.
young,
Yep.
30 something.
Like 30.
Yeah. You think
And
that you
yeah.
have way more time. So that's a reminder to just do what you want to do and be good to people, and his legacy will live on because he was a great person and a
Yep.
great artist.
Yep.
For sure.
Yep. And on a much lighter note, before we close,
Yeah.
this year is closing out.
Yeah.
So, do you want to make any New Year's resolution?
Yes.
Before we
Okay. New Year's resolution is to be consistent and stay
Be-
consistent, and plan ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe these are vague goals, but I feel like it can help with different goals you want to achieve. Plan ahead, be consistent, stay focused, motivated, and have a routine. Because the last year I've kind of been like everywhere. Yeah, I've been all over the place trying to work and be an artist, and definitely have a routine for myself, and master self-tapes and auditioning. Really try to find my lane and my groove in this world, and especially post-COVID, when self-tapes are the norm now. That's in acting. My goal also is to have I want to keep going to see if I can break into a show. Like I want to see into maybe a regular series. You got to shoot for the stars, shoot for
Yes.
everything. Again, this is just like my career goals, because the other New Year's resolution, obviously, to be happy, healthy with everything. But focusing on my career is I want to give it my all and really the nitty gritty of it, and do something. Be in something that I'm so proud of.
Mm-hmm.
Something that I'm so, and not saying anything in the past. I've been proud of so many projects I've done, and some projects I'm like, let's leave that in the vault, right? Being, doing a lot of independent stuff. I'm like,
Yeah.
let's, because it's all a growing experience, but something that I'm just like, everyone has it. Everyone stop. You have to see this. I love this. Because I am a harsh critic on myself. I am. And I'm working on it every day. So something that I'm so super duper proud, and I believe in it wholeheartedly, and I want to show it to the world. So whatever that is, I don't know what those cards are. It could be a TV show, it could be a feature, it could be a play, it could be something, but whatever it is, I want to believe in it so like passionate.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you?
I would say consistency. Consistency.
That's the first, yes.
is because next summer I'll be producing my first movie.
Yeah.
But
Congratulations, by the way.
yeah. So I mean, as a writer, it's very tough to stay consistent because so many things happen in life that kind of that you have to deal with. So it's hard to like always set a time to write.
Yeah.
And stay consistent with that because things
Yeah.
always happen, especially when you on the move, on the come up.
Yeah.
Things are just very unstable, and that's just how it is. So
Yeah.
I want to always be consistent with my attitude and
Say that part.
with my work.
Yeah.
So consistency is very important, and so that I can become successful, and hopefully we can collab
I would love that.
soon.
Okay,
And,
yes,
there
New
you
Year's
go.
resolution. We're gonna
Yeah.
collaborate.
You're gonna be.
And we're gonna make something that we're both so proud of.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
And is there anything else that maybe we didn't touch on that you wanna speak on or talk about?
Well, one, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
I love that you're giving people this platform to tell their stories, and also for you to be in this creative space. Shout out to Wolf as well. Anything that I can, just having gratitude for literally everything. And sometimes I get in my head with who I am, and it's kind of like, if I can leave anyone with anything, it's like, be sure of yourself. be sure, because that is going to help you be not indecisive. You know what you want, you know what you can do, and just remember, like, you have all the tools within yourself. And again, I know we all know this.
Yep.
I'm not saying anything new, you know, I'm just reiterating it because as human beings, we need that reminder time and time again when the world is just so crazy right now. It's been a difficult world this year, I would say.
Yeah.
It's been very heartbreaking, everything that's happening. And it's been hard to stay afloat in that way, right? So, yeah, I think that's what I would say. It's like, really believe in yourself. And I hope in 2025, all those things that you want to do, you can achieve for everyone, for myself, for D'Angelo, for Wolf, everyone listening. You know what you have to do. Go do it. That's it.
Powerful words from Michelle. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Aw.
This is the last episode of our first season, and what a beautiful way to cap it off.
Oh, yeah.
Saving the best for last, everybody.
Okay, you hyping me up, but I'm going to
Saving the
take
best
it.
for
I'm going
last.
to take it.
Thank you so much for tuning in to I Got a Story to Tell. Be sure to check out some of my previous episodes, and be sure to like and subscribe. And yeah, Happy New Year, Merry Christmas to everyone.
All the holidays.
All the holidays.
Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, what else we missing? All of them.
Incredible show. Yeah,
Thank you so much.
thank you so much.
I talk a lot, so I saw you look at your watch. I was like, oh man.
No. A lot of people